Did you know that the co-founder of the ZIIP device, Melanie Simon, is actually an esthetician based in LA that worked her electric magic on Hollywood A-listers? So whenever I pick up my ZIIP GX, I feel almost like Jennifer Aniston, who, rumor has it, is a fan of the device as well. I've talked about microcurrent for skin tightening and about my experiences with the NuFACE device in depth already, so today let's take a look at the ZIIP. What does it do, how long do the results last, and how does it compare to the NuFACE? If you're new here, welcome! I'm Dr. Anne, a physician passionate about skincare and well-aging. ZIIP utilizes nanocurrent and microcurrent to deliver skin that gets better every time you use it. This is what the website says, and to be honest, that means everything and nothing. More precisely, it claims to lift and sculpt facial contours, to increase brightness and glow, to define the jawline, and to make the face and eyes look more awake. I have seen people claim online that it targets hyperpigmentation, but despite the increase in brightness, I don't know how it would be supposed to do that. So, how does it work? Microcurrent devices send an electrical current through the skin, which is supposed to stimulate microcontractions in the muscle, leading to an increase in muscle mass and a general toning and lifting effect. They also claim to increase collagen through an increase in ATP production, which is needed for protein synthesis. While there are studies done on the effects both in vitro, meaning in the lab, and in vivo, meaning on humans, they do not really reflect the way we use these devices at home. I talk more about that topic in my previous video on microcurrent for skin rejuvenation here. On top of using microcurrent, the ZIIP also uses nanocurrent, which, at least according to several websites out there, delivers more long-lasting results than microcurrent and is responsible for the increase in ATP and enhancement of collagen and elastin. When looking at electrical currents, the main difference is actually direct current and alternating current, and the ZIIP uses both, as well as different waveforms, sinus versus Vox. It also claims that it is in sync with the body's own frequency, which would postulate that the frequency in our bodies is either the same in each individual and in each different state we are in, or that it has the means to measure this frequency and adapt. For the latter, there don't seem to be any sensors, and the former, well, I did not find any studies done on nanocurrent in regards to skincare, so the only explanation I can offer is that nanocurrent is even weaker than microcurrent in strength, which is why it is called nano. There is one study looking at nanocurrent in regards to ATP synthesis from 2020, several years after the ZIIP went into business, looking at the possibility of electron transfer along a protein via nanocurrents and the magnetic field, and it is in the paper itself referred to as novel research, so I'm going out on a limb here and say the ZIIP surely uses different waveforms and different intensities of current, but to claim that one is micro and the other nanocurrent and both have dramatically different scientifically proven outcomes on the skin is a far stretch. As always though, I'm happy to stand corrected by anyone with more expertise in this field than I have. The ZIIP is very lightweight and easy to grab. It has a charging point on one end. If it needs charging, you will see an orange light near this space. During usage, that disappears once it is fully charged. And no, you can't use it while charging, and a button to turn it on and off on the top. You cannot change the intensity you use it with, just on and off. The intensity is determined by the program you use. To choose a program, you'll download the ZIIP app, pick one of the many different versions, sync it to your device and follow the video. As you can see, there are both programs for the whole face with a duration between 4 to 14 minutes and programs for specific areas that are shorter, around 3 minutes. You can of course combine different treatments, and what I do like especially, there are also different plans that, depending on the goal you have, tell you which program to use on which day to, for example, look your best for an upcoming event. During these products, the strength will vary. It is usually strongest when you are treating the lower part of the face and the neck, and weaker around the eye area on the forehead. What irritated me a little in the beginning is that the vibrations of my device marking the end of one stroke weren't always consistent to the one in the video. The company reassured me that this is not a malfunction, but happens because of editing, and because the ZIIP only counts the times when it's in full contact with the face with both of the probes here, meaning that if you slightly lift it off on one side, the light goes off and you need to bring both into contact again for it to continue. Minimal phases of this, which might happen when gliding over the face, will prolong the time between the vibrations. In the end, it is the big issue though. Just remember to count the strokes yourself and prepare to use the device for around 30 seconds longer than the video is going. If you just use it free-form, it will vibrate in regular intervals and always offer the same strength, allowing you to focus on the areas you feel you need it most, but not giving you the different waveforms. Before you start the treatment, you need to apply a liberal amount of conductive gel to your face and neck, both to make it easier for the device to glide without tugging and to let the current actually flow where it is supposed to go. ZIIP offers 3 different versions of their conductive gel: golden, crystal and silver. All 3 offer varying skin beneficial ingredients, and the one I tried, the golden gel, is beautiful both in texture, scent and in how it performs. But I'm going to be completely honest with you, I would most likely not spend $129 on a serum, let alone a conductive gel. The device works just as well with my generic conductive gel, and while that one has no additional skincare benefits, I get those through my skincare anyway. So no, you do absolutely not need to use their gel for their device. If you apply conductive gel liberally, the treatment should be painless. No matter which treatment I tried, and I tried all of them and 3 of the plans to really get a feeling for the device, the most I could feel was an intense tingling sensation, usually on the neck or around the hairline. When used according to manufacturer instructions, no side effects are to be expected, and even if you use your ZIIP daily, that will not cause any problems. Recommended is using it 3 to 5 times a week. It is not suitable for use in people with a pacemaker, in people pregnant, or in people currently battling cancer. While I do see an instant lifting and smoothing effect when using the ZIIP, the main reason why I like to use it in the mornings, I can't say I see long-term effects I didn't see when using my NuFACE, which wasn't to be expected. At-home devices will offer subtle results at best, and it would be presumptuous to assume you could see them with the bare eye, let alone on pictures. Not losing the results I had with the NuFACE is an achievement in itself though, meaning it works just as well for me. The instant results do last a few hours. It is hard to say when they stop completely, but by the end of a working day I don't see them anymore. Long term though, I feel like my face keeps its more toned and plumper look. As I mentioned in my video on microcurrent, it is basically exercise for your face muscles, so not permanent in the way that you do it once and then keep the results. Just like it is with other workouts, it is use it or lose it. You will need to use it consistently to keep seeing the effect. First things first, both devices gave me subtle but noticeable results and were comfortable to use with no side effects. Price-wise, the ZIIP is $100 more expensive than the NuFACE Trinity and $250 more expensive than the NuFACE Mini, which, if you ask me, is the one I would get should I ever purchase a NuFACE again. The ZIIP uses different waveforms and claims to have nanocurrent as well as microcurrent, but according to the data I could find, I'm not sure that makes much of a difference. And the claim found on the internet that this nanocurrent works on a cellular level, increasing ATP for longer lasting results, is a far stretch. So that alone would be a selling point for me. While the ZIIP has a maximum strength at the highest intensity of 400 microamp, the NuFACE stops at 335 microamp, but lets you adjust the intensity yourself, whereas the ZIIP adjusts it automatically based on the program used. What makes me personally reach for the ZIIP over the NuFACE Trinity I own is the shape. That is easier to grab and a much lighter weight. It isn't as heavy when you're doing a 15-minute treatment and is much easier to travel with. Depending on your preferences, that might be worth spending the extra money for you. The results are comparable in both. ZIIP is a microcurrent device that offers different waveforms and strength of current via several different programs aiming to lift, tone and even out the skin. To use it, you apply a conductive gel, any brand will do, and glide it across your face, either following a program via your app or just using upwards, outwards strokes. It is painless to use and worked just as well for me as the NuFACE in terms of delivering instant as well as long-lasting results, which admittedly were subtle. ZIIP is more expensive than the NuFACE, especially than the NuFACE Mini, but is more elegant in appearance and easier to travel with. If there's anything you would like to add, please do so in the comments below. I will link to more videos you might find interesting on the screen, and it links to my Instagram blog and Patreon account in the description box. See you soon. Bye!